A rave is a dance party creating an environment in which individuals can gather together and dance to DJ's electric music for hours on end. It has heightened in popularity over the years, creating subcultures, which has undoubtedly had an effect on today's club culture. A rave is defined under Section 63 Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994 as a gathering on land in the open air of 20 or more people at which amplified music is played during the night. This was amended by Section 58 of the Anti-Social Behaviour Act 2003 and now also applies to the gathering of 20 or more people who are trespassing on land where amplified music is played at night. The term rave hasn't always been so clear-cut and has become extremely transgressive over time. It first came to light in the late 50s in Britain as a name for the wild bohemian parties of the time. It was then briefly revitalised by the mods. But it wasn't until the late 1980s that rave was used best to describe the collaboration of people with the same interest of dancing to repetitive beats that grew out of the acid house movement. This is live footage from an illegal acid house rave in the UK from 1989 with up to 15,000 people attending.
Frequency.
The emergence of this subculture amongst young people was down to a number of different factors. Summer of 1989, described as the summer of love, was when rave reached its highest in popularity, with Margaret Thatcher as Prime Minister claiming there was no such thing as society, portraying the sense that every man is in it for themselves. There was a consensus of the lack of belief that we're all in it together, edging young people to break free from the constraints of society and become part of something new, finding a sense of belonging to the secret rave movement. Historically, raves would be in a secret location and only revealed on the night of the event. This way it would not alert the police, reducing the risk of interference. The secrecy of the event was a massive part to raving. In order for ravers to find out about the different events, it was often announced on pirate radio stations and the location revealed on the evening of the rave. There was a thrill at being at an illegal event, being part of a large, well-kept secret, and enabled those attending the rave to escape reality. The experience of taking part in a rave is a highly sensory one. This down to the loudness and repetitiveness of the music, which ravers can physically feel, and the effects of drug taking. There are different drugs associated with raving such as ecstasy, amphetamine, ketamine, LSD and magic mushrooms. To dance to music throughout the night, drugs had become a massive part to rave culture. This was highlighted by Brown and his colleagues in a 1995 study, which showed that 84% of participants had been under the influence of MDMA whilst raving. MDMA, known as ecstasy or Molly, is the most popular drug associated with raving and is widely available. The drug of choice made people love and throw away their inhibitions, perfect for those feeling isolated in society. Raves are deemed to have a high risk to attendees, as many organisers pay no regard to the safety, security and welfare of those attending. Sites are mainly abandoned warehouses and fields which have no facilities such as toilets or security. It also includes the risk of disruption to the community and the risk of crimes such as drug taking, alcohol-related violence and antisocial behaviour. These being the main reasons in which raves were a target to the police, and in 1994 police were granted extra powers to crack down on raves, such as using riot techniques. Sociologist Jock Young argued that youth groups became oppositional. The more the police would interfere, the more they would carry on with certain behaviours, which can be displayed in rave culture. This therefore adding fuel to the fire, enticing more of the nation's youth to a location of the raves.
So what would you say to things like the criminal justice bill, which are trying to sort of stop those little parties going on? I mean, what do you think?
They can try. I mean, at the end of the day, if the law comes down on everyone and they stop everything, it'll just go back to how it used to be, illegal. And the reason why all the laws come out was to stop all the legal dudes happening, so then they can work with the law. And now they seem to be getting on top, making it harder. But like I say, if it knocks it all out of the game, it's just going to go illegal again, and the police are going to find 10,000 cars blocking up a motorway and a field next to it, you know?
Rave popularity didn't really uncover until the early 1990s, when news and media exposed the findings of the hidden parties to the public, leading to a moral panic. Moral panics have several different distinct features. According to Goad and Ben Yehuda, moral panics consist of the following characteristics: concern, hostility, consensus, disproportionality, and volatility. Each different time period in history, there seems to be a different scale to society. Within the 90s, the focus of report and media coverage was illegal raves, painting the movement from Acid House to be a dangerous, antisocial, drug-related, influential craze, leading to a widespread moral panic and outrage by the public. Deaths related to the club drug ecstasy had been overrepresented, leading to an unrealistic sense of danger.
I feel sorry for the kids who are out there, who are drug-free, who like Acid House, or whatever you call it, house, whatever, and they like to dance, wave their hands in the air, and their parents thinking, God almighty, are my kids on drugs? And that is only from a certain newspaper.
So is rave culture just history? The change of legal boundaries over time has had a massive impact on rave and the subculture. With illegal raves in Britain urban backwaters taking a backseat, this influential culture still exists. With licensed clubs still holding raves, for example clubs such as Fabric in London, and more locally Motion, which has a warehouse feel to it enticing ravers. Sarah Thornton has contributed to the understanding of club culture. Her book Club Cultures, Music, Media and Subcultural Capital focuses on youth cultures that revolve around dance club and raves in Britain and the US. She highlights that going out crosses boundaries of class, race, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, but not differences in age. Most frequent clubbers and ravers are between 15 and 19, followed by those ages 20 to 24. She also highlights how British youth going to dance clubs are an integral part of growing up, with freedom, independence, and indulging in adult activities of flirtation, sex, drink and drugs. Alcohol is the most widely used intoxicant of club culture. It is legal, easily available and inexpensive. However, uppers like speed and cocaine have long been club drugs, while ecstasy was a prototypical drug of the late 80s and 90s rave scene. Young argued that it would seem that legal drugs like alcohol are used by clubbers to symbolise achievement of the adult status, while illicit drugs are used to signify a rejection of adult culture. As seen with raves, the uses of space have an important role to the culture, with abandoned warehouses and large fields. This is the same with club culture. Clubs are environments to escape in. Unlike pubs, they hardly ever have windows but have long winding corridors dotted by a series of levels which separate inside from outside and private from public, enhancing that sense of escapism.
So I would say, like, from my experiences in going out in Bristol, there are a few clubs which drugs are still highly prevalent, like people go there to do drugs, but I would say now the kind of club scene, it's a lot more alcohol, like people go there to get drunk, to pull, that kind of stuff. But I think it does relate back to the rave culture because people still do go out, do get drunk, kind of escape the realities of life, whether it's uni stress or just everyday struggles.